Here we are at the Design Summit in Melbourne, and of course we are with founder Mark Bergin, and we are now talking about one of our sessions here as part of the Design Summit, which is about being made for people. I'm really pleased to join us on stage is Vicki Sterling from Redbubble. I think you're wearing a very significant T-shirt of some kind, which I'm sure you'll explain and describe, but welcome to you too.
Thank you. Nice
Made
to be here.
for people.
Okay, so Made for People comes from the idea that there's three main creative outputs that people do. One is that you make for yourself, the other one is that you make for an organisation, and the third one is that you make for people. If we go and examine the projects that come through the awards that absolutely rock, they're all made for people. You can tell the ones which feel a little bit compromised because they've tried a bit hard to be made for the organisation, and they kind of smell of that. We all know those sorts of briefs. Unfortunately, you may not have had the courage from the client to go and actually allow you to take them somewhere that they wouldn't go themselves. And then you find the projects that seem to be a little bit self-indulgent. You say they're very nice, but are they important? We found that the projects which are important are the ones that are made for people. Now, interestingly, the work that Redbubble do is not only do they give people who have made their own artwork an opportunity to distribute that out into the marketplace, but they've also made this fantastic platform which is made for people. It looks after the needs of the consumer who wants to go get a fantastic T-shirt like this. Who are we wearing today?
We're wearing Word Quirk today.
Word Work.
Word Quirk.
Word Quirk. So if you want this T-shirt, go search Word Quirk on Redbubble. You can probably find it. Yep. And so not only are they looking after people who are in demand for artwork, which gives them a unique T-shirt or an iPhone cover or even leggings, I think you do now. They also look after the people who create the work and give them a chance to go and get a broader long tail, as I think Amazon referred to it, the long tail of retailing of something like a piece of artwork there. So Vicki, tell me, because you're involved in proposing new treatments, new products to go and keep enhancing the community, enhancing the product base. How do you make sure that you keep making for people?
Oh gosh, that's a big question.
In 3 words or less, and you'll go through to the final round.
Well, our primary concern is always for our 3 levels of customer. And we look at customers in 3 ways. We look through the artist lens. Our artist is a customer of Redbubble. We look through the consumer lens. And we also look through our supplier lens. So we look at what's possible out there on the marketplace. We talk to our customers. We talk to our artists. We ask them, what kind of things would you like to put your art on? And we actually connect with them first and connect with the consumer first. And then we go and find a fulfiller or a supplier who can actually fulfill that need. So it's actually a reverse retail mechanism. We find out what's needed, what the consumer wants, what the artist wants, and then we find out how to make it.
And then I suppose if you've got that artwork there, then it goes out to a global audience. And that's one of the interesting things, to be able to go and buy in your local currency, in lead times which are like it's coming from somebody in the local market. You've sorted out all of that hard supply chain and make it a great experience for me as a consumer, but also as a seller of my artwork as well.
Yeah, that's correct. Actually, Redbubble's a very sustainable business. It doesn't look like it when you look onto our site because it looks like we have a lot of product. And anyone who comes to our site goes, gosh, they've got so much stuff. But actually, we make everything on demand. So we create a render of a product. So none of these products exist in reality. They're a designed product with the artist work on top of a blank canvas. And then when a consumer presses purchase or buy now, then we make that product. So it's actually very sustainable. We don't hold stock, we don't have inventory, we don't have any markdowns at the end of the season because nothing exists in real life terms until you press buy. So it's a really sustainable retail model and a retail model of the future, I believe. So
our market changes, our needs change. Tell me a little bit about the process that your team goes through to stay relevant with the market.
Yeah, that's a really good question because actually, unlike a retailer which brings in products every 6 weeks and expects to sell them out within 6 weeks, and then a new range of product comes in, actually Redbubble is made fresh and retains freshness through its artists. So when the artists upload new work, they upload relevant work, relevant graphics, relevant artwork. And so right now, I'm sure a lot of you know that anything typography is in. It's very on trend. So all the artists that have got typographic work and typographic treatments on their art actually are doing really well. And so it's not the product actually that sells, you'll find that it's the art and the design on that product that is really what's selling. And it's the same actually in retail. If you really look closely at retail, it's not always the shapes that change, it's the design on those shapes or the pattern of the fabric on those shapes that really changes regularly. So even though it looks very different to retail, it's actually pretty similar.
So if we had to go and find any organisation in the world that was built from the ground up to be made for people, I think it's got to be Redbubble. You know, they've had to go and walk the line between how do I make it for the people who are contributing their art, how do I make it for the people who want to go and consume that art, and building that community so that people want to continually go discover. So, Vicki, thank you very much. Hopefully we've given some insights to people about Made for People.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.